Some houses don't just witness tragedy, they absorb it. In the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, there stands an ordinary-looking frame house that became the site of one of the most horrifying and unexplained crimes in American history. On a warm summer night in 1912, 8 people were brutally murdered in their sleep with an axe. And more than a century later, no one has ever been held responsible. What makes this case even more disturbing is not just the violence, but the silence. No screams, no witnesses, no clear motive. Over the years, the Villisca Axe Murder House has transformed from a crime scene into a place many believe is deeply haunted. A location where visitors report voices, moving objects, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Is this house haunted by the innocent victims who died there? Or by the killer who was never caught? Tonight, we step inside to uncover the chilling truth behind the Villisca Axe Murders. The perfect family and the night everything ended. In 1912, the Moore family appeared to embody the American dream. Josiah Moore was a respected businessman. His wife Sarah was active in the community, and their 4 children were well-behaved and loved. On the evening of June 9th, the family attended a children's church service and returned home with 2 guests, sisters Lena and Ina Stillinger. Nothing seemed unusual. Yet before dawn, every person inside the house would be brutally murdered in their sleep. What makes this case chilling is how ordinary that night was. There were no known threats, no financial trouble, and no reason to expect danger. The sense of safety the family felt mirrors what many victims of historical crimes experienced. Danger arriving silently, without warning. This contrast between normalcy and extreme violence is one of the most haunting aspects of the Villisca Axe Murders. The discovery that shocked a town. The crime was discovered the next morning when the Moore family failed to begin their usual daily routine. A concerned neighbor noticed the silence, untended animals, and locked doors. When Josiah's brother entered the home, he found a scene so horrific it stunned the entire town. 8 bodies lay in their beds, their heads crushed with an axe. Blood soaked the rooms. Faces were covered with sheets and clothing, as if the killer didn't want to look at what he had done. For a town of only 2,000 people, this discovery was devastating. Fear spread instantly. The idea that someone could slaughter an entire household, including children, without being seen or heard, shattered the community's sense of security. From that moment on, Villisca would never be the same. The brutality and strange details of the murder's investigators determined that nearly all victims were killed with the blunt side of the axe, except Josiah Moore, who was struck with the blade. This suggests a deliberate choice by the killer. One of the girls showed signs of trying to defend herself, indicating at least one victim may have awakened during the attack. Even stranger were the details left behind. Mirrors covered, curtains drawn, and a slab of raw bacon wrapped in a towel left in the room with the Stillinger sisters. The killer also helped himself to food in the kitchen after the murders. These details suggest calmness, control, and a deeply disturbing mindset. This wasn't a rushed crime. Whoever committed these murders took their time, moved comfortably through the house, and showed no panic, a fact that continues to unsettle investigators and historians alike. A contaminated crime scene and lost justice. One of the biggest reasons the Villisca Axe Murders remain unsolved is the complete mishandling of the crime scene. Before authorities properly secured the house, townspeople were allowed to walk through freely. Some even handled the murder weapon. Evidence was trampled, fingerprints destroyed, and potential clues lost forever. This was not uncommon in early 20th century investigations, but in this case, the damage was catastrophic. Multiple suspects were later named, arrested, and even tried. but none were convicted due to lack of solid evidence. Every mistake made in those early hours permanently weakened the case. What could have been a solvable crime became a mystery buried under human error. The failure of the investigation adds a second layer of tragedy. Not only were 8 lives lost, but justice was never served. The theory of a killer hiding in the house. One of the most terrifying theories suggests the killer never broke in at all, but was already inside the house. Some investigators believe the murderer hid in the attic, waiting silently while the family attended church. This theory explains how the killer knew the layout, avoided detection, and struck without resistance. The attic itself is small, dark, and suffocating, making the idea of someone waiting there for hours deeply unsettling. If true, the murders were premeditated and intimate, carried out by someone who watched the family return home, settle into bed, and fall asleep. This theory also explains the lack of forced entry and the killer's confidence. The possibility that the danger was already inside the home transforms this case from a crime into a true nightmare scenario. Paranormal claims and haunted reputation. Over the decades, the Villisca house has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in America. Visitors report footsteps, voices, doors opening, moving objects, and overwhelming feelings of dread. Paranormal investigators claim to have captured EVPs, spirit box responses, and unexplained activity. Some believe the spirits of the victims remain trapped, while others suggest the presence belongs to the killer himself. Caretakers and overnight guests have shared disturbing experiences, including one man who was later found stabbed in the house under mysterious circumstances. Skeptics argue these experiences are psychological, fueled by the house's dark history. Believers insist the activity is intelligent and hostile. Whether paranormal or not, the house undeniably affects those who enter it, leaving many shaken long after they leave. Fear, psychology, and the power of place. Even for skeptics, the Villisca Axe murder house exerts a powerful psychological effect. Being in a space where such extreme violence occurred creates an atmosphere of tension and fear. The creaking floors, confined rooms, and silence amplify imagination and anxiety. Some experts believe the house doesn't need ghosts to be dangerous. The human mind fills in the gaps. When people are surrounded by reminders of death, darkness, and suffering, their reactions can become unpredictable. This could explain why visitors report panic, emotional breakdowns, or even violent thoughts. The house becomes a mirror, reflecting fear back at those inside it. In this way, Villisca is terrifying not because of what may be haunting it, but because of how deeply it affects the human psyche. More than a century later, the Villisca Axe murders remain a chilling reminder that some evils are never explained. Whether haunted by spirits or scarred by history, this house refuses to let its secrets rest. If this story unsettled you, subscribe for more true crime mysteries and unsolved cases.